Hi, Yvette. Welcome to the BlueSitron Podcast. Good evening. How are you today?
Good evening. I'm fine. Thank you so much for inviting me along, Bim.
Fantastic. So for our listeners, tonight we have Yvette Ankrah, and she's a transformational coach and the director of Yvette Ankrah Coaching. And as always, we like to bring amazing people. Of course, everyone is amazing in their several ways, but we also like to bring people that we see and know can impact us positively and advise us on the way, not necessarily the way to go, but, we can learn from them based on their advice. So today we're talking to a transformational coach and MBE holder in, I don't know if that's how it's called, if it's a holder or if it's, I don't know. I'll leave that to you, Yvette. So Yvette, welcome to the BlueSitron Podcast. So Yvette, I'll say you should start by telling us just a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so formal introductions then. I'm Dr. Yvette Ankrah, MBE, and I'm a transformational coach, and I also go by the title of Recovering Overachiever. So I work with mostly high-achieving corporate women who have decided that they want more. So it's often that they want to follow their passion, transition, and also those women who've already got businesses and again are asking that same question: what is it I want? Where do I want to go? And my focus is all about helping them achieve their desires, but doing it without stress and burnout. So that's what I do.
All right. Well, thank you very much. So it's an honor to have someone that has the MBE title join us on the BlueSitron Podcast. That's really lovely, and hope we get many more. So Yvette, tell us, you are a recovering overachiever, you said. So
yes.
Tell us how you got into the career route of coaching, transformational coaching, so to speak.
Well, transformational coaching is all about working with mindset, all about looking at habits, behaviors, what serves you, what doesn't help you. So that's the mindset work. The whole transformation is about changing how you relate to things. So I'm an NLP, so that's neuro-linguistic programming coach, as well as a performance coach. And before I went into that space, I did coach mentoring, and I've worked with women for quite a long time. But before that, I worked with organizations, particularly arts-based organizations. And the coaching side of my practice came in about 7, almost 8 years ago. But prior to that, I was a consultant. So my background is actually journalism, marketing, and business development before moving into coaching. Yeah, well, actually, my first degree was journalism.
Okay. Interesting. Wow. So, I mean, since you moved over from the corporate world into the coaching world, how has it been? How has it been for you? Has it been, clearly it's been fulfilling, but, what has changed since you became a coach?
Well, I get to help people. I have my life back. I eat lunch at regular times, and I don't work 12-hour days anymore.
Lucky for some.
Yeah, it's not all blissful, but I choose a lot of what I have in my world. And a lot of the things, and the reason I say I'm recovering overachiever, because I am someone that's always pushed for goals, strive for success, but I did it in a way that was incredibly unhealthy and not particularly good for my well-being, mentally or physically. And some of those habits were picked up in corporate life, where expectations were that you burnt the candle at both ends, that you deliver, and there wasn't much of me left. And I was very good at showing up, very good at getting my clients what they needed, but not very good at looking after me. So it wasn't a surprise when I burnt out the first time. And then I did it several other times. And the issue always was that I took me wherever I went. So even though I said, okay, I'm going to leave corporate and do something else, I still took those behaviors, that way of being, that way of operating, to different spaces. So then the outcome, again, the same. Burning out, feeling exhausted, believing weekends would bring me some, living for holidays. And I'm sure some of your listeners can understand what that feels like, where you just thinking, okay, countdown to the holiday, countdown to the weekend, and countdown to retirement. So that was the thing. And it's, you know, living in this, well, once I get this, once I get that, once I do that, I need to push some more. And there was no contentment, no fulfillment, and also no real awareness in myself of what that was doing until I became incredibly ill. And that was when I had to take a stock take and really kind of start looking at changing practices, changing behaviors, and, you know, get into that space where, you know, I was not able to function and having to come back from that. So why, when I see that in others, I want to reach out and still be successful, but you don't need to grind yourself into the ground in the process.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think this is going to be very helpful to quite a lot of our listeners, really, especially those that are already in the working age and those that are not. What I mean by that is some 18-year-olds are just not working yet. And if we happen to have some 17-year-olds that stumble on this conversation at some point, then they can also, you know, start to learn that, okay, when I do get into university and when I finish and when I start a career, it's very important to look after myself. I don't necessarily need to burn out. And I think the corporate world has a way of making, you know, young people, when they start work, has a way of almost running them to the ground because they feel, oh, they're young, they have the energy, and they should be able to deliver. And then before you know it, time just passes by for these young people. And next thing you know, they are within the middle age, and then they're looking towards retirement. So, it's a vicious circle of some sort, and scary.
You know, we spend 90,000 hours of our life at work. You really want to enjoy what you do, right?
Wow. 90,000. I didn't know that. 90,000 of our lives at work. So, you know, loving what you do is really quite important. Right. Okay. Well, that's food for thoughts and something, you know, one should think about. 90,000 hours at work. Interesting. Right. Yvette, what skills has helped you to get into become, you know, a coach? Was this based out of experience of, you know, burning out and wanting to help? You know, obviously that's how the plan was born, the business was born, and the service was born. But what skills did you bring on to help you to become a better coach?
Well, I'm in training. I believe in personal development, and actually the coaching side started with wanting to help more women, particularly mothers who had business ideas or had businesses and people didn't know about them. So it started much more from business, very much focused on that. The transformational elements came in later when I realized that I can create plans for people and help them through that, but without addressing their deeper issues, without addressing their inner world, it wouldn't really translate so much to the outer world. So in terms of skills, so I have a background, as I said, in journalism and writing. So there's that has reared its head after many years. I'm back to doing lots of writing articles as well.
All right.
I do a lot of public speaking now about the topics that I'm passionate about. There's also that my own sort of determination and tenacity, and it is a passion. It is a passion for me to see women thrive, particularly women, to see them excel, to see them soar. I love when I'm working with people, seeing almost the light bulb that actually they can do this and that they don't need to, you know, operate in the way they have been operating, and that it is possible to do something different and to be different. So also this, you know, curiosity. I'm very curious. It's important to be curious. I need to get to know people. I need to work out how they do what they do. What's the procedure, you know, because people have what we call the strategies. It's how you do something. There's a lot of automatic behaviors that we have. You know, if I said to you, how do you make a cup of tea? You probably never really thought about it. There's a lot of things you automatically do when you make a cup of tea. Now imagine you've got loads of automatic behaviors when it comes to lots of things, how you interact with people, how you make decisions, how you show up. And some of those may be really useful and some of those may not be. So it's understanding those things and being curious about people and wanting to ask questions and wanting to connect. You can't do what I do without being interested in people.
That is so true. Yeah, that is so true. And that's not for everyone, No. Some people just find it difficult to be super interested in people. So yeah. And that's actually a very important thing to note, to be a coach and to be able to even, take up the mantle of wanting to help people, wanting to help women, wanting people to live a better life, and wanting people to be able to, manage their time, marry their time with whatever, job that they're doing, and hopefully it's a job that they enjoy. Now that you've made me realize we spend 90,000 hours of our life at work. So yeah, one has to love people to do what you do. So Yvette, tell us, do you have anything that you're working on at the moment, or maybe there's a specific, challenge that you're looking to add to what you already do, and you're looking to to crush and make happen?
Oh yeah. I haven't lost any drive and ambition at all. I just do things from a less hectic pace, shall we say. Yeah, I mean, at the moment, one of the things that I'm creating and bringing to life is a program aimed very specifically at those corporate women who have got that side hustle, that side gig, and want to bring that to the fore. They're ready to now commit to it. Fears and insecurities and the worries, will it work? Am I good enough? Can I make it work? Can I make enough money for me? Am I ready to leave my comfortable life in corporate? Those questions come up a lot, and this program is about looking at those questions and helping people stand in their strength, clear out their limiting beliefs, and really help them move forward and create a plan so that says that when they're ready, they can walk out on their own terms. So they're not carried out because they've got exhausted. They're not, fired because they're not productive enough anymore, because they're just so, worn out. It is about being motivated, energized, standing in your strength, and leaving when you're ready, knowing that on Monday morning, when you wake up, after you've left that job, you know exactly what you're doing, how you're going to do it, what you want to be, and and how you're going to move forward. Because so many people keep saying, when I do this, I might, be ready to leave. And what usually happens is they don't even work on the when I do this. It stays there, and they remain unfulfilled and unhappy. And that impacts your physical well-being, your mental well-being, impacts productivity, impacts everything. And at some point, there's a case of actually, well, how do I make it work? What do I need to do? Let me take that step to really get into this and see what I need to commit. Because on top of your day job, if you have that side gig, you're working an extra 15 hours and the rest.
Yeah.
So how do you stay energized? How do you stay motivated? How do you still, be on your A game at work and still deliver this and get to that lovely, beautiful tipping point where you're earning enough money in that side gig that you can walk away from the day job?
Interesting. Yeah, interesting. And so all what you've said is actually, I'm actually really thinking about it. It's amazing. And yeah, you're right. We need to, we women, for those that are still working in a corporate world, that have got side gigs, it's important to be able to make that decision as opposed to keep procrastinating. If you really want to leave the corporate world, you just have to go for it. And before you go for it, the side gig, how is that going, and have you grown it? Has it been nurtured up to the point that it would, put you on the level of what the corporate world was giving you, or even better? Hopefully people would probably look at it in a better way. So is this something that you do regularly? Did you mention that you have, or you're working on a plan or something, is this something that you do regularly, like every month or every 3 months, or I don't know,
it's an 8 week,
every half a year?
Well, it's an 8 week program, which will run. So what the plan is to have a first, if it gets filled, because I keep the numbers low because it's an intimate program,
Right.
So I will run 2 cohorts at the most at one time. So it's not one of those classes where you get 100 people on there, and it's not about that. It's a maximum of 10 people on each cohort, because everybody gets an individual one-to-one session with me where we clear those limiting beliefs, where we do that work, and at the end they also get one-to-one work with me. And there's a VIP option if they want to have other more one-to-one time, but it's a mixture of the one-to-one plus the 8-week online program. So that's the only group program that I'm going to be running. Otherwise it's one-to-one work. And for those who've already got established businesses, I've got an online program, which is, they can go through by themselves if they so desire. So I've done it so that people can access me at different ways. I've always got different bits on my blog or, on posts, so people can get information from me, because I know not everyone is in the financial position to do that. So there is a range of options available for people. But it's mostly about, mindset work. It is all about what's going on with you and understanding who you are, what you truly want, and going and getting it.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a very positive thing that you're doing, and I thank you for that. And I'm hoping, lots of people are taking, lots of women especially are taking advantage of this. Yeah, this is amazing. So Yvette, what you're doing is all nice and great, but tell us, who's the woman behind all this? Who's Yvette?
Well, Yvette is an interesting woman who's doing my third person. I am a multi-potentiate. I have lots of things that I love. I'm involved in lots of projects and lots of things because I'm passionate about lots of different things. So I give my time to charities. I'm involved in 2 charities. One deals with well-being and mental health. The other one deals with creative businesses, workspaces and apprenticeships. So again, it's all about how we change this. Everything I do is all about how we change the world and make it a better place. I'm involved in other programs, so learning platforms, things like that. I'm involved in that. I've got a consultancy that I'm involved with. And as I said, I'm a woman of multiple passions. And one of the things I describe myself is a catalyst for change. I know that it's not my role to do everything. I don't want to. I'm not interested in doing everything. But some of the things that I do is to help spark that in others, to help network people with others, so that sometimes that conversation leads to something really amazing, to kind of help see that spark in somebody and make it grow. That's kind of what I love doing as well. It's not for me to do absolutely everything. My job is to support those who are doing their thing and help them do it, so that they can change the world as well themselves. And that's the other thing. I don't just work with someone who just wants to make money. If you just want to make money, awesome. I'm not your coach. So, if there's a purpose that you want to live, there's other things that you want to do, there's things that you want to give, there's things that you need to be to do that, then talk to me. But if it's just, I want to make $1 million, then I'm not the woman for you. It's deeper than that for me.
That's good to know.
It's deeper than that for me. It's more, and that's and my whole values and ethos is about how do we create more equity, how do we do things to support more, how do we give back. So great, make that $1 million, but then how do you support others who are coming up? How do you reach down and support those, whether it's been mentoring, whether it's giving your time, whether it's donated to charity. There's lots of ways to support others, and that's something that's quite important to me. I'm also married and mother as well, so a lot of people don't realize I'm those things. But so I've got a son, and I'm also very passionate about my roots and my belonging and where I'm from. So my family's from Ghana, and my PhD work is all about race, class, identity and belonging. So I'm a sociologist as well, and that's the area that I specialize in. Right.
That's interesting. And where are your roots in Ghana? Do you care to share that?
Oh yeah, I'm in Ashanti. My family, Marcy region. So yeah.
Right. Okay. I don't know too much about Ghana, but I do know a few bits, to be fair. My grandmama actually spent about 20 years of her life in Ghana, and that was a very long time ago. Yeah. was a very long time ago. So my aunt, that's my mom's youngest sister, was actually born in Ghana.
Okay.
So yeah, it's quite interesting. Yeah. But of course, with my work in the oil and gas space or energy industry actually had taken me more to Ghana, Accra and Tema.
Yeah.
So, but I would really love to go deep, into the country, as I am now looking to travel Africa more.
Yep.
I mean, this is a little bit shameful. I've only been to 8 African countries, but I hear some people have been to even all. Some have been to like 20 or 30 something. I've been to 8.
I haven't even been to that many.
I think I tried.
I haven't even been to that many, so you've done more than I have. So, but for me as well, I want to do more as well, particularly in Ghana and particularly across the diaspora.
Yes.
So it's something that I'm already connected with some projects in Ghana, and I want to expand that as well. So, and particularly the work I'm doing, I want to bring more of that there. I want more of that to happen with businesses on the ground there, with women on the ground there, and working with particularly female-led businesses there. That's something that I'm very passionate about as well. So, going forward, there is much more that I wish to do in Ghana and across the African continent. That's something that's in the pipeline, shall we say.
Lovely. Yeah, that's really lovely. And there's a lot that's been happening in Ghana since last year, especially with the president, being in charge of or, promoting the year of the return. And yeah, it's like almost all the Black people in America, for example, have shown some sort of interest in wanting to know their roots, taking the DNA test and things like that. And a lot of them have been visiting the continent more. And of course, the year of the return was an eye-opening for a lot of them as well. I think the president did an amazing job, of course, with the entire committee, because, I mean, the president couldn't have done it alone. He had to do with, a whole lot of, people, the entire committee that was behind that. That was really, really nice. And yeah, I think it's put Ghana on the map, and a lot of people have been talking so much about Ghana of recent. And I'm hoping, the name was the Gold Coast, wasn't it? And I'm hoping that, either returns as the name or it stays as Ghana, but still have that, uniqueness of being the Gold Coast. Because it's just beautiful. I know my grandma used to say a lot about it back then. Yeah, when she was alive. So that was a long time ago.
It is a beautiful place, but also, in terms of looking at return and looking at that work, that work's been going on for over 20 years. Obviously, the new president has come in and really pushed that, but it's important that it's not just a holiday destination and also things that are out of the country that people put into the country. So that's something that's quite important, and it's about diasporans connecting with people on the ground. And it doesn't matter how many letters I've got before or after my name. I was born in the UK. I was raised in the UK. So it's not about me going in imposing and saying this is something that I'm bringing and you need to learn. It's about what's needed, how can I help, how can my skills support people, and about having partnerships and connectivity, because there's often that danger of that imposition coming from the outside.
Yeah. Thank you. That's, you're amazing. Thank you so much for that. So Yvette, before I let you go, just one last thing. It would be nice if you can leave a nice parting advice for our listeners today.
I think something that people often forget is about taking care of themselves. They neglect themselves to their detriment. And it's only until something serious happens that they realize that actually taking care of themselves is important. So, they're going on, and right now is a good time to think about, what you need to take care of you, and understand that it's not selfish, it's important, because all the things that you want to achieve, all the things that you're connected with, they're not going to thrive if you're not thriving. So it starts with you, and it starts from the inside going out, and it starts with you being clear on your why are things important to you, why do you want to do the things you do, and what drives you, and really kind of spend time connecting with yourself and asking some of those really important questions, and then thinking, how do I sustain myself, what nourishes me, what energizes me, how can I look after me? And I think that's something really critical and is so often neglected from when you're in the corporate world, when you're in the business world. You know, if you're going to hit those KPIs, make sure there's KPI self-care.
Wow. Interesting. Thank you so much for that. Well, our listeners, you heard Yvette. If you're going to have KPIs, make sure that KPI includes yourself. It's important we look after ourselves, regardless of whatever we find ourselves doing, wherever we find ourselves in the world. It comes from the inside out. You have to take care of yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, then how are you able to be the best of yourself, to be able to also give the best of yourself? So you have to look after yourself. Well, Yvette, thank you so much for joining us this evening and being part of the BlueSitron Podcast. This really means a lot to me. I appreciate it. And I'm sure a lot of our listeners have they've listened and learned from you this evening. And, you know, listeners, if you're out there and you would like to know more about, you know, how to relax, take good care of yourself, know what's important, you know, plan properly, you have Yvette. Yvette is here to help all of us to be able to take up, you know, things that we want to do, channel them in the right way and right places, while remembering that we are still human and we need to take good care of ourselves, and we need to think about ourselves first before we crash and burn. It's very easy for people to forget, all in the name of wanting to be perfect, all in the name of chasing the dollar, the pound, or whatever the currency denomination is, and all in the name of wanting, you know, to chase that promotion. At the end of the day, you have to think about yourself. It's all about you first. Mm-hmm. And it's only when you can give the best to yourself that you can, you know, become the person that you really want to be.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's been delightful. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, and thank you to our listeners as well. And it's been here. We look forward to having you in our next episode. And I'm signing out of BlueSitron for the evening. Thank you so much. Cheers. Bye-bye.